Hi everyone, welcome to the 46th webinar in 12D's training webinar series. My name is Lisa Stewart and I'm the Marketing and Communications Coordinator at 12D Solutions. 12D's training webinars showcase common industry challenges, taking a close look at industry best practices and how these can be implemented using 12D products. The aim of these webinars is to upskill 12D users and broaden their understanding of the capabilities of 12D products. We run these webinars regularly and record them for posting through our website and on YouTube. The first 45 webinars from this training series, as well as the 42 webinars from our Industry Solutions series, are available on our YouTube channels if you missed those. During this live presentation, you'll be able to type your questions along the way, as shown on the screen, and we'll answer them as many as possible throughout the webinar. At the end, I'll read out some of your questions to the presenter for his insights if there's time. Today's webinar, Survey Coding 12D Field Pickup, will be presented by Graham Worth, who is Product Sales and Marketing Manager for 12D Field, with responsibility for management, development and channel creation of 12D Field services and products. In the past, Graham has had such roles as Chief Surveyor for Abbey Group Contracting, Survey Manager for Balderston Hornibrook and Australasian Manager for Leica Geosystems. Graham has over 35 years of experience in the civil construction industry and a wealth of knowledge of 12D Model and other software packages. This presentation will provide a detailed overview of the creation of 12D Fields pickup codes and map files to be used in 12D Fields option pickup. This will assist surveyors currently using 12D Field Setout to gain the benefit of using pickup. We will create the 12D Field Codes file and its partner map file during the session, explaining the uses and purpose of each. We'll create an opcodes list within the 12D Field Codes file, and we'll explain and demonstrate the multiple attribute input via predefined lists and/or choice boxes within the pickup code file setup. Further to the above, we'll demonstrate the 12D Model 12 pickup startup and project settings to improve the user experience. Over to you.
Thanks, Lisa. Good afternoon, everybody. So this afternoon, I'm just going to do a little brief rundown on a bit of the life cycle of 12D Field. 12D Field offers users two different methods of recording survey data. Originally, it started out with Setout, 12D Field Setout, and its basic pickup option. And then along came 12D Field Pickup itself. So a little bit of a background on basic pickup versus the SDR or the 12D Field Pickup. 12D Field has evolved, particularly through user consultation and input requests. So it's grown from you, the users in the industry, through the forum and contacts and visits to various sites to find out what people want. And a lot of hard work coding, obviously, by the programmers Nick Gunter and not to mention Alan Gray as well. So their work in the background of this has been quite substantial. So Setout's basic pickup option is just that. It's basic. Here's a panel just popped up on the right-hand side of the screen there. And it was designed primarily for construction conformance surveys. It was never envisaged to be a detailed survey package, hence the 12D Field Pickup was evolved and has grown. And so the basic pickup in 12D Field Setout was to be used with a low attribute requirements at the time of pickup, so that pavement conformances, wall conformances and the like were the major uses for that. So that's basic pickup versus SDR or 12D Field Pickup. Just going back the other way, SDR pickup versus basic pickup, SDR pickup or 12D Field Pickup evolved from 12D's original survey data reduction, combined with the map file together. So it in all circumstances, it is not a basic pickup. It is very involved and allows you to do all your line styles and so forth. So it was designed to provide live in the field detailed surveys with line styles, symbols and attributes. Here's an example of a code list that with the 12D field running in a slide. So it gives the user an infinite ability to attribute using the 12D field pickup codes file, which we're going to actually go into detail today and some of the advantages of that file. One of the main benefits is selection rather than typing input, because in the field with a tablet, the last thing you want to do is actually start typing in stuff. You want to be able to select it and so forth. And it gives the users, particularly across a company regime or an industry, a uniformity across the survey coding so that the attributes are similar across each realm. So how have we fared through version 9 to version 12 with both setout and pickup? 12D field setout, these are just feedback that I get and others within 12D have got from users of our software. 12D field setout and basic pickup has great options for doing the setout. There's it's growing all the time and continuing to grow. And it's got a basic storage ability. Word basic is common. 12D field pickup was a late arrival, unfortunately, and it's slow on the uptake, and it was actually, to be totally honest, quite a bit clunky. Feedback from the users is that originally it needs to have a resection in pickup and should be one with setout. And these continued to come. Users again needs to be joined with setout. And for version 14, we've actually listened, and although it has been a monumental task to join those two quite different formats together, it has been achieved. And if you come along to our 2018 technical forum in Brisbane at the end of this month, you'll get a first glance at the new version 14 of the combined 12D field with the SDR pickup and the setout joined together as one. So it's quite an advantage to see that. And it would be good to see you all at the conference if that is possible. So moving right along, 12D field pickup codes file. What is the purpose of it? Its purpose is to manage field survey of features and opcodes. Here is the editor for the pickup codes, and it shows the features as the first area, and then also in that file is the ability to input your choice of our range of opcodes. Again, the purpose, to enable the user to define attributes using many functions and tools to streamline the survey. As an example here, we're looking at an abutment, and on the right-hand side there, you've actually got for an attribute, which is the string material, you can actually have many different choices there. We're using a choice box, which is down the bottom there. Sorry, I'll just go back. The choice box, you've also got the opcode, feature, real, text, integer, a straight measurement, or an include, as well as the choice. So it gives you the ability to manage how you actually put 12D field pickup codes together. Again, the purpose is to enhance the map file whilst allowing the user to add in-field attributes of the surveyed object or information using predefined attributes. So here you've got the map file, our map file for, in this case, it's the pipe strings. And on the left-hand side, we've got our attribute definition file, which gives you the ability to choose the material, brick, clay, PVC, etc., and allows you to set up as a choice box again the items that you would normally use in your pickup or the materials that you'd normally come across, and allows you to place those into and match those up with the map file and add them to them. Also is to enhance the map file, allowing the user to create in-field real strings of the surveyed objects using a predefined real-time sizing and justification. So here again in the map file, you've got a pipe, strings, and I'll just highlight those. So here we've got the pipe and the strings in the map file, and you've got all the stormwater down in here, with the invert justified diameter for the stormwater, and one size, so that in this case it's a pipe. Then the second one down here is the it's got two attributes. It's invert justified, and it's a culvert, so it's got a diameter or a width and a height. And that allows you to manage that. And again, in the pipe selection here under the 12D field pickup codes, you have the material, the shape, and the diameter. So the diameter is a real value. As we saw before in that previous slides, the different items that you can put in for how to manage your attributes. So that's a real attribute, and the user types that in. So yes, a real, and typing it in. So again, the purpose allows the users to set a predefined string, vertex, or segment text attributes, or input those. If you wish to have them as a typed input, you can also do that. It's flexible enough to actually run both of the systems under. So here, I've just set up a little area in this pickup codes file for text, and the prompt is that the surveyor will need to pick up the obvert, and it outputs to the obvert, and there's a message there that'll come through in the pickup box that says pick up the obvert, not the invert, and the default message for that text is obvert. You can also tick this box down here, and it allows you to have that as optional, so the default data doesn't have to be rigid. It allows you to either put that information in or not put that information in. It's able to be flexible enough for that. And for that list down there, you've got the data type. In this case, it's going to be placed on the vertex, but you've also got down here the next segment, previous segment, the entire string, a prompt, or the prompt for a segment. So it allows you to customize and be flexible in the way you actually pick up the detail within 12D field. So in the 12D field pickup codes editor, you've got tools, and these I'll just highlight these in the top. These run across the top of the panel. So there's add a sibling string. So in this case, a sibling might be your feature codes or your opcodes. And then underneath each of those codes, you can actually add in a child to put in your attributes that you want to put in. You can delete them. You can actually move items in the attribute listing up or down in the listing so that they appear as a setup for your pickup in the field at a different periods of time in the pickup phase. And also you have the copy and paste, and of course you have the ability to read in files, multiple files, so you're not fixed to one pickup code files. You may have one for a certain type of work and another for another type of work, and you can write those out as well. So one of the main rules though for pickup codes file is that the mapfile key name and the pickup code feature output must match, because the pickup codes file actually looks at the map file to choose the line style and symbols and so forth. So here in this setup here, we've got the abutment. It's a BRA as the code, the output code. The prompt for the user sees abutment, but the output will be BRA. It's a feature again up here, and then below that you've got all the attributes, and you can see where I've actually put in that obvert there for that setup as well. And in the map file, you've got this BRA in your key, and that these two must agree with one another to for it to run. So let's have a look at the pickup codes using version 12. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be using version 14 today because we're getting ready for the conference, and I want to leave that to those out there that haven't seen it, so that a bit of an incentive to actually come along to the conference. So let me just run this down in here, and I'll just bring up 12D field. And again here, this is live within version 12. We've got the pickup codes, and again you can actually see in this area here we've got a pipe picked here, and I'll just highlight that pipe, and underneath the pipe I've got the different attributes, and these were created from the create a child. You can see the message coming up there on the screen, and put those in there, and I took those as a choice box, but you can actually put them as another group, a real value, or so forth, or just text. So in the choice box, we've actually got the ability to add and subtract different items. These points down the side here allow you to delete items, add items in, and so you can update them. And then we've got the different styles of pipe there in a list, so that when you actually pull those up, you can actually choose from those. The shape key gives you two choices. Again, it's a choice box, a diameter or a culvert. And then if we go back to the field file here for this choice box, you can see here, if I go down to the pipes in stormwater, we've got a drainage pipe, and I'll go into the drainage pipe. But underneath the pipes for the strings, we've got the code for a pipe, and I'll just duck up to there. The output is SW, and here under the string, we've got the SW as well, with two attributes grouped there in both cases, and they're invert justified. The advantage of using this pickup codes for a lot of the underground utility guys is that you have the justification ability within the map file, so that you can actually utilize that doing your detail pickup, so that you don't actually have to manage that, and you can change the justification at a later stage. So if you wish, so the stormwater in this case, and if we go to the material and we go to the shape, you'll see here that under the shape column within the map file, we have a diameter and a culvert, and they're matched within the pickup codes for a diameter and a culvert, so that you've got the ability to make a choice using that choice box. Under the diameter, it is a real value, so it's named here, and it's interesting that you must remember that the naming is quite important through your connection between the pickup codes file and the map file. Here we've got the diameter is STR diameter, And then you'll see here in the map file under stormwater, we've got $SW/STR diameter, the same. So that gives you the ability to type in, and if you look up at the top here at the pickup codes file, it's a real value. So that's allowing you to type into that real value. Again, in the height, it is the real value. So the STR height, so this is used in the case of a box culvert, for instance, where you have the width and the height. It's again an input real value. And under the culvert here, you actually have under your second size, $SW/STR height. So that'll actually create on the fly as you're picking it up. And the other one that's in here too is the last one, which is not always noted, is that you can actually add in a pickup comment, so a point comment. Now you can see here that it's been chosen as a text file, and it allows the user to put in a default, if you wish, and a message to the user in the background. And it's also been ticked as optional. So if you didn't want your surveyors to actually not put a comment in there, and you insisted that they always, it would ensure that you actually place that comment in there. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the drainage side of things. And just looking back at these, the map file in here, we've also go back to the basic, and we've got some other areas here that might be of interest. For instance, actually I'll duck into the pipes, it's quicker to do it. The electrical, so this is an electrical conduit, one attribute I've set up with this. It's justified in this case as the obvert. So if we go to the electricity here, and we go to top of the conduit down in here, you'll see in this side here that it's got the material again, so you can actually have your different types of material, and these are just creating the code for conduit top. And if I just highlight that again, it is ELC is the keyword, is the key, and the name for the pipe string is again ELC, and the key code is ELC as well. So you've got the ability to choose the material again there. It is justified to the obvert, and you can also add in the diameter as a real value if you wish, and a comment as well. So you can add many different things. You can actually choose to put these into there, and it allows you to run through it. What I've done up here is under the bridge, I've just done a quick change to the abutment, and I'll put in this obvert here as an example to show you that today, only because it was at the top of the list, there's no obvert really on an abutment, but it allows us to do that. So I put in a prompt there of obvert, pick up, and the message will be make sure you pick up the obvert, and I've defaulted it to that, and I've turned off the optional so it'll always pick that up. So I've got here in the background some of the functions, and I'll just run this. I'm running 12D field pickup here again, and I'll just position this out in the paddock out here to allow us to take a shot on that. And I'll go to the code, and we'll go to the bridge abutment again, and we've got the abutment there, and select that. And I'll just change that string to, we've only got one, so change it to string number 1 and press OK there. So when we take a measurement here, at that point, it allows us to, comes up, and as you can see, because of those changes that I made in the pickup codes file here, if I go onto the message, it says, the message down the bottom here says pick up the obvert code, and that's just because I've put in there a message. So when you actually highlight that, and I've got another point comment there of good, and we can actually choose a steel there, set that and continue. So that allows us to actually to run that in there. And I'll just pick another spot if I can, and I'll just minimize that down and take a shot there. And it joins the string as pickup does. I'll take another shot there. You can see it's actually come up with the last. And this is, as we were saying before with this presentation, underneath the pickup menu, the settings, you've got in the background the settings menu, which allows you to choose a lot of the functions that you would want to use as you're doing the set out. So in this case here, I've got the pre-fill attributes from the last code input tick box, and that allows that to be opened up and picked up as well there. We can auto add the survey to the pickup view, so as you're picking it up and you change a code, it'll place it in a different model. And again, this model here is, and I'll just minimize this one down, and we'll just go to the minus bar, and we'll say we've now got the code already loaded up within the plan view for the bridge abutment. And with this function, I've also prefixed the function with GW 1007 or today's date. We can actually set up the favorites mode, and there's a lot more coming with the version 14, and I'm sure you'll be very happy with that. So we can have favorites on if we wish, incremental and so forth. We can also have, under the survey GUI, you've also got your standard hotkeys, which allow you to set those up, and we'll just pick up to the TP Setout perf, pick up vertical. And so there we've got the hotkeys there for us to use in the field if we wish. So that's a couple of the current functions in version 12 that allow you to add that in. So I'll just go back and repeat that so that we've got the ability to understand and to get a good overview. So we've got the output message there. I've got the comment is good. So under here, under the point comment, you can see here I've got a default there under the P comment, and here under the PT comment, it's repeated it in there, but I've got it as optional, so I don't actually have to put anything in there. I can actually backspace that and delete that out of there as well, set that, and then continue with that P comment there as well. So it's actually stored that without that good value on there as well. But each time it's just a default value, and it allows you to manage that. So it's not, you're not obliged to actually keep that attribute going in there. So for those added things that you want to put in during a survey, it allows you to manage those. I'll just bring up again with this point comment. I'll just give me a bit of a bucking here at the moment. I'll just restore that position because we're using the simulator in this case. And I'll position the instrument over in this area over here. Select that. And if we go down to the pipe, so if I choose the pipe here and we have a look at these values, we've got a SW as the stormwater, and I'll just minimize that down. It's obviously thinking that the last code, and you can see up on the pickup bar. It's BRA string 1, which is what we're doing from point 12 to 13 here. And it's saying, okay, if that's where you're going to, that's the last string. When you set up the favorites in 12D field pickup, it links to your favorites as you run through the sequence of picking them up. But under pipe, we've got here the material. We've also got the shape and the diameter. So I'll just minimize that down and we'll go to the code. We can pick up the drainage here, a pipe, stormwater 1, and I'll choose that as an OK. And you can see that link is now broken. We take a position here, and you can see in this case, as I've set up with this pickup codes, in this area here, we've got the diameter, the string material, string shape, and the string diameter, and the string height as an option within that. So the material we're just going to do is a reinforced concrete pipe. The shape, I'll do a diameter, so it's a pipe string. And as this is, if we go down to the string diameter, we can see again in the pickup codes file, it's a real value here. So it's looking for a number. So if we do a 3.0 diameter pipe, or just a 3, we can set that and continue. Now I've got the last running, so I can actually go here and bring up the position the TPS again. Position the TPS, yep. And I'll just take it over to this area here. And we take another measurement there. And you can see, because in the settings I had the fill in the last, and I just have to press continue. We've got some nicer features coming in 14 for these options as well. So again, I'll just move this point through here, and we can actually take another measurement there, and it just continues on. Fill in the last, set that, and continue. So we've actually got these. This is a full pipe running through. So with the pickup codes, if for instance, if you wanted to actually do a measurement, you can actually change the real value, if you wish, to a measured value. So you can actually set up a measure value with that as well. We'll go into that in detail after the technical forum with some more information. But at this stage, we're just going to run through this area here. So there you've got that. If I actually just move the instrument, or I can leave it where it is actually, and we can actually duck in and have a look while we're here now. And I'll just go back and minimize the feature codes. We've got the opcodes, and I've got a selection here set up. So in the pickup codes, when you go to your features, you can actually choose a header, a footer, features, as we've got up in the top here. So you can pick up as the top line, there's a header there, which is detailed survey codes. Under the features codes, it's a features, and I've given it the prompt of feature code, so it places it in that area there. If I go to the opcodes, again, under this selection, header, footer, features, opcodes, and straight attributes if you wish, and an include to allow you to include multiple items. So here we've got string closed, and I'm just going to do an arc through the last 3 points. Even though it's a 3-meter pipe, it allows us to do that. So that's opcode 17, and if you put the output there as 17, it'll access and run the option 17 of the opcodes. So in this case here, I can actually, while that's sitting up there, I'll just run through here. Sorry, wrong item. User error there. The opcode button, hit the opcode, and as you can see here, an arc through the last 3 points. And that applies that arc through those last 3 points. It allows you to manage all of those as well. So you have the opcodes ability and the feature codes ability within the pickup codes. And again, that allows you to run through the different coding methods as well. So again, I'll just run through the feature codes, and we can actually just do a few changes now. So here, if I wanted to place on that electrical conduit, so we've got the top of the conduit in here, you can see there that that is under the group electricity. We've got the top of conduit, and we've got a material. So we can actually add a child into that. You'll see it actually creates another line down there and allows us to put that in. So we can actually run back and run through all of those. Here it's asking the first of the listing is a group, but as you said, we've got as you can see, we've got a choice group, the opcode. So you can actually put an opcode in as part of the feature pickup, a feature in this case, but I want to put in another text message in here. So you can actually see it comes up, what do I want to actually place that prompt onto? So here I'll just put in here a message is the prompt, and it will allow me to put an output of a message again. And the message, if I want to do, is top of conduit. Spelled correctly. And I can have that as a default, or if I want to, it'll default to that message, or I can leave it blank and it'll leave that area blank and allows you to see that, or tick that off, but I'll leave it optional at the moment. And so if I just hit the right button there, it will add that message in, and I'll replace that. And you can see now that that message has been placed there in the 12D field pickup codes. So that allows you to manage that as well, which helps you run through that. So coming to a close now with this setup, this is just it's a bit of a light introduction to the pickup codes editor and the reasons for it and the purpose for it. As I said, at our conference, we will run through a lot of different items and allow you to have a look at the version 14. I'm very excited about the difference between what we currently have with version 12 in pickup and what we looking at in the future. I'm sure all of you will find it a very, very good change for 12D field and users, particularly with the ability to have both pickup and setout running together. So thank you very much for your time today. Look forward to seeing you, and I'll hand back over to Lisa. If you have any questions, you can type them in there. We'll get back to everybody with their questions and give you a personal call afterwards to discuss it further. For those, I'll be very disappointed if people can't make it to the conference, but it's understandable, particularly in the construction industry, and I'll catch up with some of those afterwards. And back to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Graham. For those who can't make it along to the conference, we do also have some great training courses coming up in Brisbane and Darwin and Melbourne and Perth, so all over the place. I think we've popped a handout on this webinar outlining what's in some of those, and you can register for those through the training page of our website or contact us by email for more information. And yes, of course, the technical forum, we do keep saying, but it is very soon and it's going to be a wonderful event this time, so really looking forward to that. The recording of today's webinar will be available in coming days through our website and our YouTube channel. Our next two training webinars are Survey Utility Modelling on the 22nd of August and Downhill Strings, including new version 14 features, on the 12th of September. So jump onto our website and register for those and our industry solutions topics. We'll keep you posted on all of that through email and social media if you're subscribed, and if you need to contact us in the meantime, we'll pop those contact details back up on the screen. That concludes our presentation for today. Thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you at future webinars.